Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel again. I'm trying to get the lighting right. Okay, I think that's cool. I like that, I can dig it. I'm coming back to you guys for another part of my series or whatever. I just want to talk today about control and us as humans wanting to control everything, and we have to surrender. We have to learn to surrender. We have to learn to surrender to life. We have to learn to surrender to whatever it is that we believe in. We have to learn to surrender to ourselves as the universe experiencing itself. That's what we are. We all have our own experiences and our own paths that we have to take. We're all going to experience death just as we all experience life. And it's something that's out of our control. And I feel like because, let me take these glasses off. I feel like because it's something that we can't control, I feel like it really doesn't sit well with a lot of people simply because it's out of our control. It's something that we can't determine when, where, how, why, who. We can't determine shit about our death. So I feel like that's probably the best example that I could give to us needing to surrender to life. Simply because whenever it's certain circumstances that force you to surrender or force you to not have a specific level of control, you have to surrender to it. That's like in regards to death. It's not something that I know a lot of people are ready for. It's not something that I know a lot of people have the capacity to understand the magnitude of the idea of death and what happens, where you go, what's next, do you come back. So I feel like we are able to surrender to life more because we know that tomorrow may not be promised. You're able to enjoy life more when you know that one day you won't anymore, or not in this form, not in the same body that you are, not in the same mind that you have, not with the same people. You know that when it's your time, it's your time. And you understand the preciousness of life. You understand how fragile life is. That's why you should lavish in it. You should enjoy it. You should be able to surrender to life because you know that you can't control when it's your time to go. Or you shouldn't try to control when it's your time to go, because it shouldn't be up to you. Not everything in life should be based off of what we want. That's why, in regards to my last video, I know I made the point of sometimes it's not what you want, but it's what you need. That's something that can be translated in many different ways, throughout many different situations. We have to learn to surrender. I try to kick myself all the time when I make mistakes, when I fuck up, when I don't do what I know I'm capable of doing. But I have to understand that I can't always control everything. The outcome, the result of a lot of stuff, it can't be up to me. I can't determine it. And based off of what I believe in God, I believe in the Creator, I believe in the Most High, I believe in Jah, I believe in the one overseeing I guess, the one being that created all of the us, the world, the universe. That's what I personally believe. So I have to learn to surrender to that. I have to learn to surrender to my idea of God and what I believe as God and what I believe will come after my time here. I have to learn to surrender to that. I have to learn to surrender to a lot of things in my life that I may not be able to control. When something doesn't happen how I may have wanted it to, or whenever certain friendships and certain times, certain relationships may be over with, I have to learn to surrender to that, simply because it may not be what I want, but it's probably what I need. And if I continue to try to control things, my God will continue to force those things out of me till the point of where I have to surrender. I'll be left with nothing else but surrender. So it's like you can either do it the easy way or you can do it the hard way, but you're gonna have to in life. And you feel a lot better whenever if you have a faith, if you believe in something other than the human form, you have to learn to have that faith, have that trust, have that genuine belief in your heart that your faith is what determines everything from the good to the bad, to the ugly, to the sad, to the happy, to the glad, to the mad. You have to learn to succumb to everything that your faith wants for you, or what your faith believes that you need to either deal with or go through or have or not have or experience. It's just like you have to learn to surrender to it. I've been watching a few videos and it's kind of popped up. It's been presented to me in many different forms, through shows, through books, through my recommended on YouTube, this plant called ayahuasca. And basically it's a divine feminine energy that within the plant. And it's a ritual based in like South America, I think specifically in Peru, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I am, but a lot of people, when they take this plant and when they experience the journey that ayahuasca or mama ayahuasca, the feminine energy within the plant, what the plant is trying to show you, you have to learn to surrender. A lot of people that have taken the plant, they've tried to have like pre notions of what's to come, or what's gonna happen when they take the plant, what they're gonna see, what are they gonna experience and stuff. And the plant won't let you experience what you need to experience until you let it just happen. And I feel like that's very I feel like that goes hand in hand with just life in itself, because you have to come to terms with the fact that humans, we are not in control of everything that happens. There are things that have happened on this earth that have not been able to be explained by us. Stuff that you have to understand that there's more to life. There's something else out there, something else in the air, something in the universe that has a hand in all of what we have going on. And I felt this many different times when there's been things that have been completely proven wrong to me, things that I thought, I could probably never come back from, or things that I probably assumed that they were just going to be what they were, and turned out to be completely something else, just within the blink of an eye, have turned into something else completely different. So I know my higher power has a hand in that, and I have to remember, okay, Sumanna, like, you gotta just let it do what it do. Like, you can't be in control all the time. You cannot have a hand in everything all the time. You are just the universe experiencing itself. You are just a being. You are a spirit. You are not the ruler. You are not in control. Yes, there's God within me. I do believe that. But I have to understand that I am not the overseer. I am not the most high. I am not the king. I am the ruler of my life. I do believe that as an individual, I can say I'm the person that When I make certain decisions, I have to deal with the consequences of my actions. I have to deal with repercussions. I have to hold myself accountable to the things that I do, whether they be positive or negative. I have to take responsibility for those things as a person. But in regards to things that are just simply out of my control, I cannot continue to bother myself with the thought of, you could have did that different, or changing that, like basically in regards to like having regrets or wishing that you could change things, or wishing that you had the opportunity to turn stuff around. And no, that right there, like, or beating yourself up about stuff that's done, stuff that's in the past, like things like that, things that really deal with everything that's not now. Because you can also do that to yourself about the future. Oh, I need to get this job. I have to get this interview. I have to go here and I have to be the best coon that they want me to be. Or I have to do A, B, C, D, X, Y, and Z. And when you don't, you beat yourself up about it. But you have to understand that that is not always in our control. We know our potential, but you also have to understand that it's not just you. If you have a faith, this is if and only if you have a faith, and you have to understand that you need to surrender to that faith. Even if you don't, surrender to life. Surrender to life. This is an experience. This is as far as we know, a once in a lifetime opportunity. You might not get it back. So release the control. Release the control. Release your past. Let go of your future. Do not beat yourself up. Let things be what they are. Try your best. Make an effort. I've always said that. As long as you make an effort, there's nothing else to be said about it. That's saying if you was, when you were a kid in middle school and you were a bully, you used to pick on kids, you used to torment kids, you used to make them feel less than, so on and so forth. And you come across somebody that you bullied like 10 years later, and just say in between those 10 years you always felt negatively about what you did and the way that you treated that person. If you've been presented with the opportunity to make something right, make that thing right. If you've been presented with the opportunity to do something again or do it differently, then seize that opportunity, because you may not get it again. But do not hold yourself to certain things that you might have done in your past, or hold yourself up to such a high standard to where you drive yourself crazy if you don't meet that expectation. Everything is not in our control. Everything is not meant to be in our control. This is a human experience. This is a celestial experience. This is the universe experiencing itself. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We all have to deal with the pain, the anger, the resentment, the hatred, the love, the genuine fulfillment of certain activities or certain things, or being with our loved ones, and so on and so forth. But we have to just let them be what they are. We can't always try to put our hand into everything, hoping and wishing that it's going to turn out exactly how I need it to. Because if it don't, you're going to be devastated. When things don't work out, that's the thing. That's the thing with control. If you want to take on that full responsibility of control, you have to understand that if this don't turn out how you want it to, you have to deal with that. You have to deal with that. Nobody else has to deal with that, because you was the only one with the hand in it. That's why you have to be careful about what you say. You have to be careful about what you do. You have to be careful about how you carry yourself, the way that the things that you put out into the universe. You have to be careful. That's the only stuff that's in your control. Your actions is the only thing that you on this planet as a human being. Those are the only things you can control. If you mad about global warming, yet you still over here using all this paper and plastic, and you're not disturbing it, you're not disposing of it in the way that you're supposed to, who are you gonna be mad at? Yeah, you can be mad at everybody else who ain't doing what they're supposed to do, but you also have to hold yourself accountable. You still have to understand that you was in control of your actions, and you still did what you did. So if you're gonna be mad at somebody, be mad at yourself. This isn't here. I'm not here to judge anyone. It's just life is all about accountability. And that's why we have to be careful in the things that we want to control, because you're going to have to be the one to hold yourself accountable. Unless somebody puts a gun to your head to do something in this life, you're the only one that's in control of that. Now, when it comes to things that are waging, things that may or may not go the way that you want them to, you have to understand that may not always be in your control. Usually, for the most part, especially if you have a faith, it's probably not. But even if you don't, life will still kick you in the ass. And you still have to come to terms with that. You still have to acknowledge that and deal with it for whatever it is. So yeah, I think I got my point across. Release the control. Release wanting to be able to be that determining factor in your life, because you're not always going to be that. But if you want to be, and either God or your whatever you believe in presents you with that opportunity to, take advantage of it. Do it the right way, because if you don't, you are going to be the one dealing with the repercussions. You're going to be the one dealing with the consequences, and you're really going to take a step back and think, did I use my power correctly? Did I use my control correctly? Did I use my privilege correctly? And the only person that it's going to come down to is you, nobody else. Not the way you was raised. So don't blame it on your parents. Don't blame it on the kids, the environment, the people around you. You don't have to succumb to that. You don't have to follow in nobody's footsteps but your own. And in saying that, I'm going to just wish y'all peace and light. All love. I'm glad I can just come on this platform and be completely honest, be completely real and raw with you all. And hopefully y'all take everything I say into consideration. I'm not a god. I'm not a guru. I'm just a person living here, experiencing life, rolling with the punches, taking L's. But also manifesting everything that I want in life. Trying to live in love, trying not to judge, trying not to live in my ego. We out here moving on to our higher self. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I really hope you all have a blessed morning, evening, afternoon, night, wherever you are watching this video. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys' views and your support. Please let me know if you want to talk about anything, if you need to get anything off your chest, if these videos are helping you out. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.